So, um, so Mike, suicided himself, and I grieved over the years until 2013. Around, well, no, it wasn't 2000. It was around 2010, I think, or 11. One of the 2 years, I can't remember. I found another guy. He was called Tyler, and he was sweet. So we started talking, and then we started dating. And I think we dated for around maybe a year. And then this other guy was like, "Oh, you're a really nice girl. I want to date you." I'm there thinking, well, I guess that won't hurt because I want to find the right boy. Now, I'm not saying Tyler wasn't the right one, but he was a bit of a shy, breakdown sort of kind of experienced guy. He would constantly think, "Oh my god, I made a mistake. I am friggin' sorry." And I'm like, no, you made no mistake. You're a nice person. So I told him I want to date other people. So we broke up, and I started dating this other guy called Riker, or Matt. Not the same Matt from the other thing, but a different Matt. So I dated him, and it was on the first day, I was talking to him about my mum and how she wasn't accepting of online relationships. Because constantly we talked to her about the guys I was dating, like, their names and their personalities. I didn't talk to her about Mike much because, the first date experience I didn't want to bother with because it was my first date. And I thought it would go downhill. Well, actually, it wasn't my first date, but I thought it would have gone downhill, but it lasted 2 years. And what happened was, what happened with Matt was, he said, "Oh, I want to talk to your mother and tell her," and I want to talk to your mother and tell her what, she's being really stupid with protecting you. I'm like, "No, she's my mother. I don't want you to do that." So, and then instantly, I got really furious and I broke up with him. Now you're probably thinking, well, frig, did Tyler take you back? No, by that point he had found another girl, and I didn't really want to, force him away from a relationship. So, I left the site. I didn't grieve because I was just really angry. I was like, "Oh my god, thanks to that guy, I lost another relationship." And then I found another guy called Ice Knight, or Brandon, and he's the guy I'm dating currently. I started dating him in I think 2012-ish. So I'm dating him. And he's a nice guy. He's really sweet. He's sort of like Tyler, but not too much. He's a bit weird, but that's fine. I'm used to weird people. I've dated an emo for crying out loud, so I'm kind of used to it. Anyway, what happened was, nothing bad happened, if you're thinking. But after dating Ice, I thought it's time it's time for Mike. So I went to his DeviantArt account to relieve some memories. So what I did was, because I didn't keep in contact with anyone that was related to Mike, so what I did was I went back onto his comments that was left on his DeviantArt and started reading to myself, and I saw something that really distressed me, that my mind went back into that depressed state again. Somewhere in his comments it said that Mike was talking to his friend about his girlfriend that he just broke up with, and he said, he was saying that he couldn't give her the love that she deserved, and that he broke up with her. He broke her up so then she could get the love that she deserved. And I'm sat there thinking, "Oh my god, was that me he was talking about? Did he want to protect? Did he want to help me find a true love?" And I'm sat there thinking, "Mike, why did you do it? Why did you do it? Why did you kill yourself?" I was sat there crying, and I just cried. But I got to the top of the comments and I just breathed and I said, "Mike, you're watching over me right now. You're going to be watching over me. You're going to now make sure your wish comes true." And I don't know if he was talking about me. He started dating another girl at that time, so it might not have been. But it could be, for all I know. no one's no one's told me otherwise. I wish I knew. I wish I could see his old friends and ask them, oh, was it me we was talking about? Because I didn't know. So what happened was, I breathed. I'm happy with my life. That's pretty much my life. Spent 5 years at college, where college is pretty boring, so you don't want to listen to that. You want to listen to the nice little grieving story that happened. So I'm gonna try and give you a nice end to that. So what happened was, I breathed and I smiled. I still tears in my eyes, but I smiled. I was like, Mike, you're watching over me. Thank you very much. I'm closing my hands in a sort of prayer, and I'm just saying, I miss you and I love you and everything like that. Because Mike was the one that started it all. He was the first guy that liked me for who I am, and that's never going to change. He's always going to be the one guy that I will love. I'm never going to love another guy as good as Mike. And that sounds bad, but it's true. And it's really sad. But that's how it works. Once you find that guy, the one that you love, and once you figured out what it's done for you, when you do think you've moved on, and then you just think, why did you do it? People talk about suicide all the time, and if it's right, and I think it depends on the person. If they want to suicide themselves, I don't think they should be stopped. If they really want to, I think it's a good thing, because I cried when Mike killed himself, but what happened was, the grieving helps, because then later on in life, you can think, they're watching over me, and they're helping me through this tough time that I'm going through, and they're always by my side. Constantly, I would think about him, I would dream about him, I would say his name. Always, I'd be like, Mike, you've been such a nice guy, and I love you so much. Even to this day, I'd constantly look on my shoulder and be like, I love you so much. Because constantly I'm thinking, he's there watching me. I never knew him that well. He lived in Portugal. In Portugal, these relationships were all long distance. So I never met this guy, I never kissed him. But I would always love him. That won't change. Like, if I have a child, even, I'd always think that'd be Mike's child. If it wasn't for the killing, if it wasn't for the suicide. And constantly I'd be thinking, and that might be sad to see, because then you'd be thinking, oh, well, what, you're going to dream about your husband being Mike and I, that you're basically frigging a dead corpse? I'm like, no. I still love the guy that I'm dating, I still love him. But Mike was the guy that started it. Because when you find out the first guy that started it, and you're a fat girl like me that nobody likes, because she's fat, she's ugly, she don't look pretty, she doesn't sound pretty, there's nothing pretty about her. She doesn't wear skirts, she doesn't put on deodorant, she don't put on makeup. Mike was the one that changed me. He made me feel beautiful at the times that I felt just awful. And he was the one that started it. And I think it's a good thing, really, because I wouldn't be here I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Mike. I wouldn't be in the My Little Pony community if it wasn't for him. I wouldn't be with these friends if it wasn't for him. I wouldn't be with Brandon if it wasn't for him. And so, like, in one alternate reality, he's alive, and I'm still dating him. We might be married in an alternate reality. And you're probably thinking, well, in the alternate reality, aren't you a bit jealous? And I'm like, maybe, but I'm happy where I am in my reality. I'm with friends that love me. I'm with a boyfriend that loves me. I'm still with my family. And I'm happy. I'm happy with my life. I really, truly am. Nothing could change that. This is why I wanted to do this, because I want to say, so it's there on YouTube for the rest of the time. I want to say with the utmost sincerity in my voice and the utmost sadness I can utter right now, since I'm a bit sad, is that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. If it wasn't for friends and family and my school and my mum, everyone. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be alive. Because I would think there'd be no guys for me. All I would think of is that no one would date me. I'd be dead. I'd rather just die. I was really depressed when I found that. I was really depressed that I found no guys when I found Mike. And then Mike changed my life for the better. I was thinking, even if I was to break up with him, there'll be someone out there. And I always thank him to this day. So, people, I think we should be more happy about suicide rather than sad. We should be thinking about the good things that they've done and never the bad things that they've done. You should always be saying to yourself, you're there right now, you're watching over me. It sounds really religious, but it's not. And that's basically my life story up to this moment. Currently looking for a job, I'm still dating Brandon. Got a crush on my friend Ryan. And that's it. I'm just dating. That's all I can say. Oh god, I'll be real sad after this. So thank you very much for listening. And I hope this doesn't bring a tear to your eye, because I'll be really disappointed. I'll be really sad if it brings a tear to you, and I'm sorry if I make you cry. Also, just thank you. Thank you very much. My friends, family, Mike, my viewers, my people who are auditioning still, Dega, Disney, Gempire, Mozilla, you know who you are. Dan, well, Amy now, because Amy, Katie, Fireseeker, I love you all. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And also, just to add, if I ever pass away to the next life, or to heaven or hell, or wherever I'm gonna go, if I ever pass away, I don't want this taken. I want people to remember me with these words. Don't be sad, remember the good times. Thank you very much. I love you all. Kenna Chiquisha signing out. Or Techno Kidder, whichever you prefer. Bye. Love you all.